Welcome back. This is part 4 of our Kentucky Route Zero playthrough. Having gotten to the end of the mine, Shannon went to investigate on her own and Conway chose to wait. I ended while we were waiting, and just a few seconds later, we are still waiting. So I will give it just a moment, a reasonable amount of time, and we will carry on. See where we find ourselves next. I'll give it about 2 minutes, and we'll sit in relative silence. I might pick up here and there and chat, but the point is to wait. Let's sit in darkness for a second. Contemplate our wait. No, I'm a smidge impatient. You hear the groaning of the mine. The old dog comes to greet you. As I immediately turn away and go to the shack. The cramped shack is lined with wooden shelves. Dusty stacks of tape reels and notebooks crowd the room. But a bit of moonlight filters through a window near the ceiling. On a small desk in the middle of the room lay 3 notebooks. One is labeled J. Marquez, the green one is labeled R. Marquez, and the blue one is unlabeled. Conway opens the red notebook. The pages are covered in disorganized notes, some written horizontally, others scribbled vertically into margins. A few pages are lined more evenly, divided up into charts correlating seasons, lyrics, harmonies, and coal hulls. So her parents were the researchers, weren't they? On each page is a delicately rendered charcoal drawing. Most are portraits of rugged faces. Near the middle of the book, there are a few drawings of a young girl in a miner's helmet. She plays along the minecart tracks, collecting pieces of wire. In one drawing, another girl sits nearby, intently studying a book. Conway opens the blue notebook. The notebook is full of Greek letters and cryptic mathematical formulas. Near the back of the book, what first looks like it might be... Oh yeah, this place. These notebooks are labeled Marquez. Your parents are the archivist. No. Weaver's parents are the archivist. My parents were miners. How's the leg? I can walk on it, but it's slow. Well, I'll try not to get too far ahead of you. Don't want my hitch to ride, do you? I kinda got a lift out here and wasn't sure if, when I'd be heading back. I can drive. I can handle it. Okay, your decision. I still need to find the 0. Well, it's like I told you. She sent you here looking for your on-ramp. This is where you should be looking. Maybe you just weren't listening closely enough. That's not exactly what she said. I saw Weaver at my workshop. That's up north by Lake Nolan. Right at Wax and Peonia in the back of a bait shop. Pretty glamorous, right? These are the times we live in. She's either up there or back at the farmhouse. Whichever you want to head to first, just let me know. Lisette's Antiques. Guess this is your truck? This is my truck. How's it going, old man? Old man, this is Shannon. Nice to meet you. Do you help with the driving? You help with the drooling, looks like. Conway heads back into the night. Wait, her farmhouse is right here, so we're just gonna run back to that. And then back up into the countryside. Act 1, Scene 6. The Marquez farmhouse. I love that formatting. It gives very much, same with that show, Law and Order vibes. Needed some help to get up the hill. There's nobody buried here, you know. It's decorative, I guess. It's art or something. I don't know. I don't know those names. Maybe the people who lived here before? I know when they bought this property, it already had a house and everything, or maybe they have some other symbolic meaning. Oh, and look at that headstone. Marquez? Used to think that was for my parents. Now I don't know. So this is where she was? Yeah, makes sense. This is where Weaver and her parents lived. They took out a bunch of loans, you know, and had this place built. You have any debts? I owe some people some apologies. Well, you're lucky that's all you owe. My parents are like that, till the company store found a way to get them. For my dad, it was tokens to run the fans and air purifiers. For Mom, it was canaries. Two solutions to the same problem, but they sure sounded different. Weaver had debt too. A lot of it. All tuition. How'd she pay it off? She didn't. No income. None of them did. I think eventually Weaver put those math skills to work on all the red numbers in the family checkbook. Got a clear sense just how hopeless her situation was. So she left. Guess she just drove away in the middle of the night. They woke up in the morning and the car was gone. Never came back. Till tonight. Someone else told me to come by here and talk to her. Huh. Okay. Guess we two aren't the only ones she's been talking to. Oh, that's not something you see every day. That old TV right there? Well, that is an antique for you. I had a model like that in the shop once, but I had to sell it to make rent. Most painful decision I ever made. Do you mind if I open it up? Looks like the dials are all corroded and the screen is leaking light a bit. Come on. Bet Lisette would never forgive you for letting a specimen like that fall into disrepair. Oh yeah, these tubes are all messed up. Look like they've been in a swamp or cave or something. There's moss growing on this one. That's okay. Have a few spares in my bag here. Pull this one out of a computer monitor. Just needs to be recalibrated a bit. Okay, that oughta. Should be seeing something now. Are you seeing anything? Hey, that looks dangerous, what you're doing there. Okay, I think the contacts are dirty. Don't go telling my customers I clean off all vacuum tubes with spit. There. Just gotta turn it north-south and... Ominous electric drone. Kentucky Route 0. Appears to be a gap in, lack of better word, space-time? End of Act 1. And well, this will be short. I think we'll keep going. I was debating ending at the end of Act 1 for this video, but I think we'll just keep going. Okay, so limits and demonstrations is not Act 1. So, play. Limits and demonstrations. Limits and demonstrations. Lula Chamberlain retrospective, marking the first major public showcase of her work in over 20 years. This retrospective exposition of work by pioneering installation artist Lula Chamberlain comprises a diagonal slice through time, place, and form. The pieces on display were individually debuted over a period of 35 years, designed in Chamberlain's various homes and studios between her beloved Mexico City and her native Elizabethtown. They represent a range of scale and impact from the intimate warmth of vertex texture fetch to the infamous visage, to the latter of which requires a vertical clearance of over 30 feet. Yet these works share a confounding legacy. In each of their debut exhibitions, they were nearly impossible to install. galleries and museums balked at scale, power requirements, and highly skilled labor involved in maintaining these works for display. Some of their debuts collapsed under the weight of logistics, only to be successfully executed much later. And so, just as they describe the outer limits of Chamberlain's range as installation artist, the geographical edges and vertices of her itinerant home life, beginning and end of her distinguished career, the works on display here also trace the extremes of our capabilities and the frontiers of our patience as both viewers and exhibitors. Are we capable of viewing these works as they were meant to be? Do we even want to be? Spinning coin. Suspended. Correcting for angular motion, 1976. Found materials. It feels so strangely alive. Yeah, like it's about to fall over. You mean the whole thing's about to fall over? Yeah. Kinda anxious, right? I feel like we startled it and there's this uncomfortable pause. I feel really drawn to it, but it just makes me nervous. Title card. Vertex texture fetch. Tree, television, and suspended cathode tube. 1968. Found material. The picture on the TV. What is that? It's a lighthouse? No, it's a weather vane, or windmill, or something. Is it a lighthouse? Title card, Visage, 1984. Unknown media. What kind of machines are those? Looks like, yeah, teletype terminals. In an old PDP tape cabinet, I think, or something from that period. My uncle used those to slice a visage, build a visage. A puzzle to its owner. What? It's a poem I read. I think it was written by a computer. Well, I think it's lovely. So, first thing I notice is like there's shoulders. See a bit of like collarbone muscle or hair, and then neck. Some ears. There's a face in there. It's a little unnerving. Title card. Overdubbed. Nam June Pike installation. In the style of Edward Packard, 1965, 1973, 1980. Magnetic tape. Handheld playback head. Speaker system. Voice of the artist. Computer synthesized speech. Oh, I read about this one. It's interactive. How does it work? It's a bunch of old tape. And you run this tape playback head along it, and it listens to the recordings, I guess? Let's try it out. I think you start in the middle. As Bob drags the playback head along the tape, a woman's voice issues unsteadily from the speakers. We start in the middle. Donald and Joseph are in the hallway. I am in the office. Walls are lined with filing cabinets. A few drawers hang open. The door is ajar. A massive computer looms in the corner. There are some punched cards on the floor. Synthetic voice recording spliced awkwardly into the tape list out options in monotone. To examine cards, rotate 30 degrees and advance 7 inches. To leave room, rotate 17 degrees and advance 4 inches. To activate computer, rotate 200 degrees and advance 15 inches. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape. So loud. I love it. I am now holding 2 punched cards. On one of them, Joseph has scribbled a note, caves. The other is blank. To insert caves card, rotate 11 degrees and advance 2 inches. To insert blank card, rotate 95 degrees and advance 14 inches. We're on a dirt trail in the park, or, well, it's not really a trail. It's a trail. It's more like a tendency. There tend to be fewer plants here on the path we've been walking. Now, we're walking at the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to mossy rock. The ground sinks into darkness. Joseph and Donald are following a rope into the cave. They have computer equipment tied to their backs. So do I. To enter the cave, rotate 65 degrees left and advance 4 inches. That's the only choice? Yeah, that's the end of one, so 65 degrees, 4 inches. That's the last trip. So everything's down here now. The final resting place. Don't be so morbid. To remember a fond gesture, rotate 180 degrees, advance 23 inches. To regret a harsh word, rotate 12 degrees and advance 6 inches. It's late morning now. I'm sitting at my desk on my lunch break. This is the last recording I'll make on this tape. Then I'll drop it in the mail tomorrow, and then who knows. I've been recording onto this tape for 15 years, I think. A lot of other things happened, so here is the story. The first time I moved to Mexico, I stayed there for 3 years. I had no contact with either Joseph or Donald the whole time. They each thought I'd done it to spite them. Maybe I had, in part. But I don't think they ever appreciated the community I had in Mexico, or... Anyway, when I come back, I didn't call them or visit the university. I ran into Donald completely by chance at a hardware store. He asked me why I hadn't called, and I told him it hadn't occurred to me. So, I'm almost out of tape. I guess I'll just let it run out while I eat. Hey, go back a bit. Maybe we missed something. Really? We've gone so far. Is there anything else we can do here? No. It's the end of this tape strip. Don't think we ever reached this long one at the top here. Is it cheating to skip over there? I won't tell a soul. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape. Think of our work. Our research. You'll die in these cold caves. And what about those men? You know they'll come back. We'll go deeper. That's all. They'll never find us. Did you hear their voices? They're not. They'll find you, but not me. I'm going back to the surface. Stop. Your stupid fight is ringing the whole cave. Joseph is right. We can't stay here. I'm leaving too, but I'm not going back to the surface. Taking my station wagon, I'm heading down to zero. You'll be lost forever. But we need your voice for the machine, Lula. It only recognizes your voice. I'll send you this tape when I'm done recording. Put it in the mail, then you can see what your machine does with it. Oh. Basement puzzle number 2. Artist, Sunset and Horse. 1976. Plaster wire. Can you read the covers of the books? Yeah, it's kind of hard to. I wish we could get a little closer. I don't think they're real books. No, they're real. Look, that one says... No, you're right. It's just scratched up cardboard. Maybe it's a puzzle, but there's no right answer. That is kind of sad. Yeah, I guess I'm ready to go. Yeah, this show is exhausting. Okay, so that will be the end of this recording. We will start Act 2 at the beginning of the next one. Thank you all for watching.